My son shall take the throne.
The price you pay will be oblivion.
My hands stained in the blood of those we both rely on.
It's gone wrong. I feel it.
Pharaoh Must Die, a play written by Kevin Groves.
Maya, second wife to King Ramesses III, sits in her private bedchamber, shrouded in shadows cast against her concerned face by the nighttime torches. She watches the very nervous man sat opposite to her, his frequent glances at the closed door drawing more irritation from her face. Breaking the silence, Maya leans forward and glares directly at Pebamen.
Pharaoh must die.
What?
Pharaoh must die, and my son shall take the throne.
Sure you don't mean that. Tity's son is heir to the throne. He is firstborn of Pharaoh through her as first royal wife.
You are correct, he is. But his bloodline must end. The gods have forsaken this Pharaoh, his bloodline in Egypt. I believe we need a new dynasty, one to restore the power of Egypt. Pharaoh shall die, and so will his heir. Most likely Tyti too, for there should be no chance of retribution after the coup. In fact, I would find great satisfaction in driving a dagger through the heart of Tyti myself. Her position as mother to the crown prince leaves myself and the rest of the wives within the harem in a precarious state, and one that she enjoys reminding us about at every opportunity.
Besides your own quite understandable feud with Tyti, over matters that don't concern me, my answer is yes. Yes, I agree to your view regarding the current position of our king. The wars with the sea people to the northern coast have been a drain on the treasury. I hear there is little left. In fact, there is news of workers not being paid their rations due to them. There have been riots. A revolt is certain, and one you could benefit from if this continues for much longer. He is such a pale comparison to his father, Ramesses the Great.
Good. Though you can't deceive me so easily. I am well aware of your grievances against our king and his wife. Nevertheless, I am happy to see someone agrees with me. I have a plan already set in motion.
What grievances?
Never mind that. I need to tell you the plan. Here.
She opens the sack on her lap.
What is that?
These wax dolls. Here, take them. Let's say an old wise woman I had smuggled into the palace some weeks ago told me about how to make wax dolls and use them to bring about my wishes.
Using them against the king, you mean? Witchcraft against the king? The price you pay will be oblivion and no afterlife.
Much the same as this life without my son on the throne. Here, I have a few already set to incapacitate the guards and Pharaoh, for when the time is right.
This is madness. Anyway, what do you want me to do?
You have a privileged place in the harem. You can go wherever you want without question. I don't have the luxury as I am watched constantly for my own safety, of course. Therefore, I need you to find others sympathetic to my cause. Specifically, I need you to sway the minds of the other wives against Tyti. Tyti rules us with an iron fist, and there isn't much goodwill to be found in her favour. So your task-finding support should be easy. I will tell you what to do with these dolls so that you can pass on that information.
Certainly, my queen. For the future of Egypt. I will be back once it is done.
Fall. But a valuable fall.
On the other side of the palace, first royal wife Tyti paces her private bedchamber. She wrings her hands and walks over to the crib of her infant son.
My beloved son, Crown Prince of Egypt and its future king. We live in such dangerous times, my son. I feel enemies of our beloved Pharaoh closing in on all sides. I promise to you that I will keep you safe and ensure that what you have is rightfully yours. But please, please, my son, forgive me for some of the most dreadful things I must do. The chaos that I feel will soon unfold leads to death and destruction, with my hands stained in the blood of those we both rely on or who offer us allegiance. I have to do what I have to do, and I do it for your future, my son, and for my own life too. The chest! No! It wakes!
She lifts out a wax doll dressed as the Pharaoh and his head laying detached in the chest. She puts it back in the box and closes the lid. She looks fearfully back at her son's crib.
As I thought and as I feared, it has begun, my son. Death lurks close now. It is kill or be killed. Gods, hear me now. The blood I have to shed I do is to protect Egypt and my son. If I should die, please save him. Guards, guards, be prepared. I feel Pharaoh's life is in danger.
Maya and Pebamen sit in their chairs facing one another in her bedchamber again.
We must act now. There's tension in the palace over the last few weeks and it's increasing. I suspect our king and his devoted queen suspect something is wrong. We must make our move before someone discovers our plans.
What are you, we, going to do?
Just watch.
She opens the sack once again on her lap and takes out dolls of Pharaoh and the guards. She winds a cord around them, binding them together tightly. She then looks across the room into the shadows and waves her hand. A shadow slides from the darkness and hugs the wall of the room, sliding out the doorway.
The assassin can now do his work.
Assassin? We've been in this room since sundown. I thought we were alone.
Yes, he's good, isn't he?
How long do you think it will take?
Moments. We will know soon enough, one way or the other.
How many must die?
I told you at the start of this, all of them must die in the end. The king along with his infant son, for there must be no heir to the throne. And certainly the royal wife, Tyti. I fully intend to stand over her as she begs for her life before I, and with great satisfaction plunge a dagger in her chest. A look of shock. How quaint. Oh, don't say you wouldn't do it yourself from what I know of your secrets.
Secrets? You know nothing of my desires.
We will come back to that at another time. Anyway, like me, she is of noble birth, no higher social rank than me. But she becomes first wife to the living god that is our king, and she seems to think that his divine birth confers to her in some way, and that she is now elevated. No. I want to bring her back down to my level and look her in the eye as she dies, so she knows she is no better than I. Stuck-up bitch. Silence. Listen. It is nothing.
So is all of this really a personal grudge, or actually for the betterment of Egypt?
How dare you say that? Of course it is for the future of Egypt. Though I don't deny I have scores to settle, as I'm sure you have too. I haven't forgotten that time some years back when you lost out on the position of Visor. Wasn't that because you tried to seduce that royal bitch while our king was away on some royal tour? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Don't worry. Everyone knows about it. It's no secret to those who whisper behind your back about that one and all the other sordid secrets of yours. That is why I thought you would be happy to participate in this plot. We all have a bit of vengeance, don't we?
You've used me, Mayor. I won't forget this. It's gone wrong. I feel it.
Quiet, you fool. Go check and don't be too obvious.
The guards are chasing someone down the corridor in this direction.
The assassin has failed. He is returning here, damn it. Do something. He must not reveal us.
I have a knife, if it comes to it.
Go then. What happened? You are covered in blood. Is it yours or his?
He approached me. There were guards chasing him. I went to block his way. He didn't see the dagger until it was too late. But it is too late now, my queen, for we are undone.
Tyti enters the room and grabs the dagger from Pebamen's weak grip.
Yes, you are both undone. Your plot to kill the king has failed. He still lives. You and your co-conspirators will face divine justice for this treason.
Stay back.
Oh, the knife! You fear it? No, don't worry. I won't stab you. Both of your fates will be far, far worse than a mere stabbing.
Shadows of smoke and bright bursts of flames flicker across the walls of the court at the royal palace. There is the strong odour of burning from outside. Tyti sits on the royal throne holding the crook and flail. Pebamen kneels before the throne, head bowed. Maya kneels holding her baby son and looks up defiantly at her foe.
Our divine king still lies recovering from the attempted assassination by these two deceitful and treacherous creatures. Therefore I, Queen Tyti, first royal wife of our great king Ramesses III, will pass final two judgments in place of his divine majesty. We are not just deeply hurt at their betrayal, so is Egypt, and we both demand justice. You two who now kneel before the divine throne know that all those you corrupted have experienced justice through being executed for their crimes. I will now personally deal with your two fates. Pebamen, you were a trusted official, and you, Maya, and your son are of the royal household, the king's wife and son. Both of you should have shown total loyalty to ourselves and to Egypt. This treason against the Pharaoh, and by definition Egypt, can only result in one thing: your death. Not only that, additionally, for the use of witchcraft against us, you've committed an offence against Mahat and all that is right. You will therefore be burnt to death. There will be no burial, no body, no afterlife. You shall be removed from history and face oblivion.
O Queen, O divine Pharaoh, please have mercy on me. It was Maya who corrupted me. Made me do these evil things.
Silence! Because you are both of noble birth and trusted within the inner circle of the royal house, we will grant some mercy. You are, of course, still condemned to death, but you will be granted the privilege to take your own life with poison before your bodies are thrown into the fire.
Tyti stands and walks down the dais to approach Pebamen. She hands him a vial.
Drink this now, make your death painless. Of course, if you'd rather burn to death, that is your choice.
Pebamen takes the vial, drinks and gasps, collapsing to the floor. He writhes for a little while and then stops still. Maya looks in horror at Pebamen. Tyti turns to Maya. She offers the poison to her. Maya reaches for it, but her hand is shaking and she withdraws it.
I cannot do this. Not to my son. Please have mercy on my son. He is innocent of this. It was all my doing, but let him live.
There can be no chance of this occurring again. No risk to the throne. No exceptions. Hold him and I'll give it to him.
My son. My son.
Now your turn.
I cannot do it.
Your shaking hands show you to be a coward. Open your mouth.
Tyti kneels down beside Maya, leans in and pours the liquid into Maya's mouth. Tyti, with a satisfied expression, leans into Maya and whispers into her ear,
Safe journey to oblivion. By the way, I taught you how to use those dolls well, didn't I?
Yes, it was I in disguise as an old wise woman who taught you how to use those dolls.
Thank you for the diversion with all of this. You were right, though. Our king is weak, but I won't be suspected when tonight Pharaoh would die suddenly from his injuries and my son will no longer have to wait for the throne. I shall rule as regent for many years.
Tyti stands triumphant in the royal justice. Her beaming smile she projects to the witnesses present in the court.
Pharaoh's justice has been enacted. Long live the Pharaoh! Long live the great one, Ramesses III! Until tonight.
Mayor, Sasha Ravencroft. Tyti, v. Woof. Narrator, Andi Dawson. Pebamen, Kevin Groves. Edited and produced by Kevin Groves.